Bhakti Yoga is one of the four streams of yoga. Earlier, in our tradition, yoga meant only Patanjali yoga. Then we had Jnana, Bhakti, Karma as separate. And Shankaracharya said, Jnana is the highest. Karma, Bhakti and Yoga can be only subordinate to Jnana. Unless you have the Jnana, you will not be able to reach the highest. Sarvam Jnane Parisamapyati was the essence. But when Swami Vivekananda came, he found that for the modern times, when we have our era on science and technology has come up, we have now been concentrating only about the physical system, physical world, physical body, and we have forgotten the real aim of human endeavor. We don't believe that there is something like moksha. There is something like the infinite pure consciousness. Even we don't know whether consciousness exists, has come to be. We have turned very materialist and we have become extremely physical oriented. Therefore, he said, a new way has to be brought forth. So, all these, Jnana, Bhakti, Karma and Yoga, can be called in a broader spectrum as yoga, with the objective that all these lead to the same goal, that is moksha. Therefore, he, in his famous proclamation, enunciated this dimension. He said, each soul is potentially divine. The goal of life is to manifest the divinity within by controlling nature external, nature internal. So how to do that? How to manifest that divinity, which is infinite knowledge, power, freedom and bliss? How to manifest? Do it by work or worship, philosophy or psychic control. 2 W's, 2 P's. Work is Karma Yoga, worship is Bhakti Yoga, philosophy is Jnana Yoga, psychic control is Raj Yoga. By 1 or 2 or 3 or all of these, you can choose any one of them, or 2 or 3 or all of this. In the integral yoga you have all 4. And be free. What the goal is? Perfect freedom. All these are different paths to the same goal, he said. Therefore, you can choose any one of them or more. Either you can work with the intellect in Jnana Yoga and reach the highest, or use your emotions, gain mastery over the emotions to reach the highest, or you use your willpower, the mind, gain mastery over the mind and reach the highest, or even when you are doing your action, karma, you will be able to use this arena to reach the highest. What is that highest? Called total freedom. In Sanskrit it is called moksha. Moksha means absolute freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from all our tensions and stresses. Freedom from all our anxieties. Freedom from all our miseries. Freedom from all our diseases. And freedom from all our bondages. What are the bondages we have? Bondage of the mind. What is the bondage of the mind? Since you get up in the morning, you go on thinking and thinking and thinking. Mind is working. And if somebody says, come down the mind, silence the mind, doesn't hear. That's the bondage of the mind. What are the bondages of the emotions? We are tossed up and down in Asari Sampat and Daivi Sampat. Asari Sampat, anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, infatuation, arrogance. We are all up and down, tossed up and down in emotional upsurges. Bondage of the emotions. What is the bondage of the intellect? Small perspective, wrong notions, constricted things, and ajnana, it's called, avidya, it's called. And what is the bondage of the body? The body has to be fed with the food, the fluids, and take care of the body. The body has a fixed contour, is governed by particular weight. You can increase a little bit, a little less. And bound by gravitation. Can you overcome all these bondages? Is it ever possible? Yoga says yes. That is possible to overcome all these bondages. Bondage of the body can make the body very small or make the body very big. We have a great example of Hanuman. Hanuman was the greatest yoga master of masters. And he had such control and mastery that when there was a need, he was able to bring down his body very, very small. When he was going and flying across the ocean to meet Sita and fulfill the mission of Sri Rama, then there was a great demon, Surasa, and she said that now you cannot go. I am going to eat you up. Then he says, please, please, I've got a big mission of Sri Rama, so I have to go there and meet Sita and bring the dimension. Please allow me. No chance. You have to go and I'm going to eat you up. And only thing is you have to go toward my mouth. Go through my mouth, and then if you escape, you escape. That's your choice. Then what he said? He started becoming bigger and bigger. Surasa also started opening her mouth bigger and bigger and bigger. Huge thing, almost like a parvata, like a mountain. And then he suddenly became very small, entered into the mouth and went up. Such perfection Hanuman had. And when he had to bring the Sanjeevani to enliven Lakshmana, he had to go and bring the thing from Himalayas. He was down in Sri Lanka. And how he was able to go with that speed and then come back. So Jat is the mastery over the body. And that is the goal. So therefore, it is possible to get complete mastery over the entire body, mind, emotions, intellect. And that is the coveted goal of our human aspiration. Therefore, I consider our ancient masters, yoga people and spiritual sciences, the most ambitious people. They were not happy if they had the richest wealth. Nowadays, youngsters, you ask, in America, what do you want? I want to become a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire. What was the aspiration of Alexander? He said, I want to become the ruler of the whole world. He wanted to become the emperor of the whole world. And our seer said, this is trivial, very, very small. And we want the highest. What? Infinite wealth, infinite power, infinite freedom, infinite bliss, infinite knowledge. That is called as the moksha sthiti. That's the state of absolute perfection. And Swami Vivekananda brought out this point so efficiently and said you can choose any one of these paths and reach the highest. And therefore he said all these are parts of yoga. And jnana he called as jnana yoga, bhakti he called as bhakti yoga, then karma he called as karma yoga. What about yoga? Then he called as the king of yoga, called Raja Yoga. This is how the 4 streams of yoga have been brought forth, which we use in our university, based on the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. This should be clear. And the second dimension which he brought out is, each is a path. Don't say jnana is the highest, bhakti is the highest, karma is the highest. No. Each one of them can reach the highest. No. That is the special contribution of Swami Vivekananda. Therefore, even from the bhakti, by gaining mastery over the emotions, he can reach the highest. That's what we chanted now in the 18 verses. The Bhagavad Gita explored and brought forth. You can see the schematic. In the schematic, you could see how this has been brought forth in our ancient texts. The Bhagavad Gita is the most comprehensive text of yoga. Every chapter is a yoga. And we have selected these 18 verses to summarize the whole essence of Bhakti Yoga. And similarly for Jnana Yoga, Raj Yoga, Karma Yoga, we have selected 18 verses. Put them into a format. And you could see the whole essence of Bhakti Yoga brought forth in this schematic. So, what is the goal of Bhakti Yoga? It should be very clear. That is moksha. That is our original state. A state from where the whole creation has come. A state from where all of us are born. And in the process of creation, we have become smaller and smaller. From infinite pure consciousness, we became Anandamaya Kosha, then Vijnanamaya Kosha, became smaller Manomaya Kosha, then Pranamaya Kosha, then became the Annamaya Kosha, the physical body. And we have forgotten. We have totally identified ourselves with the body. So this is the thing that has happened. So what has to be happen? You have to go back and understand and experience that we are that infinite. So that is the moksha. So bhakti is a tool, very important tool for modern times to see that we use emotions by which you can reach the highest goal of human aspiration, that is the moksha. How to do that? Krishna gives us. What the management experts have found now has been enunciated by Krishna long, long ago. In any management system we have got SWOT analysis. To understand any system, we have to understand what is the strength, what is the weakness. SWOT analysis, opportunities and tools. Similarly, Krishna said you must understand what is your strength, what is your weakness. The strength is called as Daivi Sampad, the divine virtues, the good qualities, the virtues. And what are our weaknesses? It is called the Asuri Sampad, the demonic vices, demonic qualities, vices. So these are our strengths and weaknesses. In our human system, both these things have been built into us. And in some, Daivi Sampad is more, in some, Asuri Sampad is more. And Krishna says, first of all, you must recognize how much of Asuri Sampad is there, how much of Daivi Sampad is there. And Asuri Sampad is the one that deteriorates us, that is gravitating us, enslaving us, make us suffer more and more. Tension, stresses, diseases, misery, suffering, and ultimately take you even to commit a suicide. Daivi Sampad are those good qualities which help us to rise higher and higher, move from our normal level to become great human, super human being, divine human being, and move towards freedom, more and more freedom, more and more freedom, reach the highest state like Hanuman and Lord. So these are the two things that we all have. Therefore, having understood these two things, we have to decide what I want to do. Krishna says, thus Asuri Sampad. The vices, what are they? They are called the 6 enemies of human beings. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, infatuation, arrogance. What are all the good qualities? Sharing with others, serving others, magnanimity, forgiveness, calmness, and full of energy, vitality, creativity, all these wonderful qualities. And choose whatever you want. Obviously, who wants to suffer? Every one of us wants to be healthier day by day and then having greater and greater bliss and so on. Therefore, what has to do? Develop the Daivi Sampad, he says, and reduce the Asuri Sampad. This is the first resolve. Once you make a determination that, yes, I am going to develop my Daivi Sampad and reduce my Asuri Sampad, consciously I am going to do that, then the Bhakti Yoga begins. Once you determine, then you must know how to convert. How to convert the asuri sampat into daivi sampat. Kama, the gross desire, the carnal love, the lower form of love, which we all normally use to develop our friendship, is the gross. So in this friendship, we become friends by common likes or common dislikes. You also like masala dosa, I also like masala dosa, we become masala dosa friends. You like birthday cake, and he also like birthday cake, you become birthday cake friends. You like Carnatic music, and she also like Carnatic music, become Carnatic music friends. So on common likes you become good friends. Similarly, we become good friends by common dislikes. You don't like him, and she also doesn't like him, so you become friends. That's a better thing. I give an example what happened in my life, Once I was traveling from Kanyakumari to Delhi, way back in 1973. Then in our compartment, there was one person who went on criticizing Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister in our country at that time. And everybody was keeping quiet, but somebody from the other compartment was coming this side. He heard. He also came and joined, sat, and both of them went on criticizing. The travel was almost 40 hours. They become such close friends, criticizing Indira Gandhi. This is the grossest form of love, called friendship. We all start like this. What characterizes this friendship is a sense of give and take. We are good friends, and you like birthday cakes, so I will give you a nice birthday cake in your birthday. And I expect that you also should give me a birthday cake in my birthday. And common likes, giving. When I give a nice party to you, you also should give me a nice party to me. This is the expectation. Supposing I give you a party and you don't give me a party, I'll wait, okay, 1 week, 2 weeks, till you are not giving. Kya kanjus ho gaya? So, second time also I give you a party, still you don't give me, then friendship breaks. This is the normal thing. There is always expectation of a return. So, Krishna says, from here, you have to go to the next step, called Prema Bhava. In this Prema Bhava, you go on giving without expecting anything in return. This is the real love. So, in English called friend, a real friend. Who is a real friend? A friend is need is friend indeed, as it is said, the proverb goes. So every mother knows, she goes on giving to the child. It's called the Vatsalya Bhava, Prema Bhava, without expecting anything in return. But if you expect something in return, okay, I am going to take care of my child, so that when he goes, he or she is going to take care of me, then it becomes gross love. Similarly, this should be the thing between husband and wife, parents and children. They must go on giving without expectation any return. This is called the Prema Bhava. So the Bhakti's first level is to move from Kama to Prema, it said. So if only we can build this Prema Bhava everywhere, you can create ideal social orders. This is what India was. This is the tradition of India. Therefore, Swami Vivekananda again and again in a lot of his lectures, when he used to give in America and various places, he used to emphasize how to make India great, how to make India the highest level. He said, India will not be made if India becomes the economic superpower in the world. India will not be made if India becomes the defense superpower of the whole world. India will not be made if we bring the highest skyscraper of the world. When will India be made? India will be made when you take India to its roots. What are those roots? The basic traditional values of Tyaga and Seva, renunciation and service are the twin ideals of India. Channelize India into these two roots and all the rest is going to come back. This is what we were able to achieve in our times, hundreds of years back. Vijayanagara Empire was such a role model of an ideal social order, where everybody used to give and give and give. And what is the result of that? They were extremely healthy, and the wealth increased tremendously. They had complete control over the senses, and such harmony, love and peace, and working in tune with nature. And when people used to come from outside, they were not coming just for learning philosophy or yoga here. They were coming looking at the richness and the wealth of India. Why do people go to America now? Because America is the richest country. If I go there, then I can earn a lot of money. Similarly, people used to come here. When they used to come here, it's a fantastic thing they were seeing. So much of love, so much of affection, so much of giving, integrity, honesty, transparency, clarity, everything they used to find. With smile on the face, with such health. But what we see in United States, when you go there, there's so much of tension, so much of stress, and all diseases are rampantly growing up and up, and drug addictions have started growing so nicely. Depression is in the ascent. 60% of the people in depression, and everybody taking the drugs and getting shattered. And lot number of these modern NCDs, non-communicable diseases. Why? Artha. The wealth became the riding things, economic superpower, defense superpower, but they had all these things. Therefore, the whole goal of Bhakti Yoga is to create ideal social orders by preparing ourselves with the Prema Bhava. So, Vivekananda gave the right direction. What is to be done to make India the great? Each one of us should change. But we want India should become great, our society should be nice, everybody should be nice to me, but don't ask me to change. That's our mindset. Wrong. Unless we change, India cannot be made. Therefore, yoga tells us that we have to change. We have to change our habits. We have to change our Asuri Sampat to Daivi Sampat. Start developing the Daivi Sampat, and the whole country can grow, and we have the message to the whole world. When our people went centuries back, various countries they went, they never wanted to rule the country. They wanted to bring peace on earth. They wanted to bring harmony, love and affection with everybody. Why? That is our whole thing. We wanted to create a huge world family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That was our objective. So bringing this dimension of Prema Bhava everywhere. And the question is, how does this Prema Bhava bring about the transformation? What is the science behind it? When you go giving, what is going to happen? Then you go into the deeper levels. That the root cause for all these negative things that we have, hatred, jealousy and other things, the root cause is ego. Ego, mada. That ego has to be diffused. Therefore, they try to understand what is this ego. Ahankara, mada. And they understood it is a state of mind in which you have constricted. You have become very small, very selfish, very petty. And because of this constriction, then you have all the problems. Anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, everything is going to come up. Therefore, you have to handle that ego. How to handle ego has to be diffused, it has to be removed. Therefore, the trick that they developed, they understood is the surrender, prapatti bhava, sharanagati bhava. And sharanagati bhava has been beautifully explained by Swami Vivekananda. He said, surrender is expansion. Many of us have a notion that surrender is wrong. Because if you surrender, you lose all your capacities. Why should I surrender? No? This is where we have to understand what is surrender. Surrender is a process of expansion. It is to curb our ego. And by surrender, you develop all your capacities much higher than what you have in the beginning. Therefore, this is where the bhakti comes into picture. The equation for bhakti is prema bhava plus surrender, prapatti bhava, sharanagati bhava. So, this is what is needed in the modern times, surrender. So, giving on one front, another is the sharanagati bhava. And to whom to surrender? Any god or goddess that you may choose, or any role model that you can choose. And the process of surrender is the process of tuning, is the process of resonance. That you tune yourself to this higher entity. Just like you tune your radio to BBC and all the information from BBC is going to come. Similarly, you tune yourself to your higher entity, all those qualities are going to flow in. You tune yourself to Saraswati, all the wisdom is going to come to you. You tune yourself to Lakshmi, all the wealth is going to come to you. You tune yourself to Sri Rama, all his grand qualities are going to come to you. You tune yourself to Krishna Bhagavan, you get all the perfection of a human system into us. You tune yourself to Hanuman, you get all the strength and the great siddhis of Hanuman come to you. You tune yourself to Christ and all the love and affection of Christ is going to come to you, Jesus. So choose any role model, any Ishtadevata that you have and start working on that. That is the tune of surrender. And the culmination of surrender is Sakshatkara. Getting the Sakshatkara is called as God realization. God realization is flesh and blood, and it is the greatest discovery of the modern times to establish the bhakti by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the teacher of Vivekananda. In a period where all people did not believe that there is God, it is possible to see God. He was able to do his experiment one after the other, go to greater height, from prema to the bhakti and bhakti leading to sakshatkara. And he understood the whole science behind this bhakti and propagated that. And from there he went to the higher dimension. That whatever God you worship, you have the sakshatkara of that God. And he started doing the bhakti initially on Kali, then on Rama and Krishna and others. Then he did the bhakti on Christ and Muhammad, and he was able to understand that all religions are also true. And ultimately with Advaita, he sought all these things ultimately lead to Advaita, that the pure consciousness, that the Parabhakti in the highest realm. There you have the higher dimensions of bhakti talked about. And how does one leave the body? Consciously with Ichha Marana. That means you leave the body and go and then merge with the totality. So this is the whole dimension of bhakti brought forth in Bhagavad Gita, and the basic text of bhakti is called the Narada Bhakti Sutra. Just like for Raj Yoga we have Patanjali Yoga Sutra, we have Narada Bhakti Sutra for bhakti, and we have Jnana, we have Brahma Sutras for Jnana Yoga, and for Karma Yoga we have the special sutras developed by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's great disciple, and he brought Karma Yoga Sutra Shatakam is there. So we have got the sutras, formula, thesis for all the things. So this is the dimension. Let's contemplate on this. Sit tight with the eyes closed now. Relax all parts of the body. Take a deep breath and slowly breathe out with a nice smile on the face. Scan your lives. Find out how much of Asuri Sampat and Daivi Sampat we have. Make a resolve. I'm going to develop that Prema Bhava. Every day I will give something to be incorporated into the life. Then, having chosen your Ishtadevata, go on doing the japa and the Ishtadevata every day. Tune yourself to the grand qualities of the Daivi Sampat of your Ishtadevata, your role model. This is the process of growth, from unreality to reality, from darkness to light, from mortality to immortality, as portrayed in our Shanti Mantra. Namaskar Mudra. Asato ma sadgamaya kamaso ma yotirgamaya mrityor ma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah.
सभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति